Hey guys, Keebler here for Path Punk Playhouse, and today I have a bit of a more silly but also kind of a philosophical video for you guys today. And as you may have guessed from the title of this video, these are 5 thoughts that not necessarily keep me up at night, but I kind of think about these things from time to time. It just crosses my mind every now and again, and I just keep thinking to myself, what would happen if this happened? Or what would happen if the roof over my head fell down and a meteor came crashing onto my head? I know that's super realistic, but that's not really the point. I have 5 ideas here that I wrote down. These aren't necessarily just the only 5 thoughts that I think about every day. These are only the things that I could think of off the top of my head that I do think about a lot or have been thinking about a lot recently. And yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so first thought I have is, what would My Chemical Romance's music sound like today? And for those of you who don't know, My Chemical Romance, they broke up in March of 2013, and they have been kind of hinting, well, not really hinting at a reunion, but the lead singer, Gerard Way, he has not ruled out the possibility of a reunion, which is giving a lot of people false hope that even if it does happen, then it'll just be extremely anticlimactic and the fans will just be disappointed. Or they're giving them false hope and it will never happen, and then they'll still be let down. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. So one of the ideas that me and Lex Dahl for the Punk Rock Blues, which if you haven't subscribed to them, you should go check out that channel, but finish this video first. So one of the ideas that we have tossed around is that even if My Chemical Romance does get back together, their music would just suck. Whether it sound too techno-y or too pop or too many synths. And I think he's really basing that off of the fact that that's more or less what Fall Out Boy did. Again, for those of you who don't know Fall Out Boy, they broke up sometime in 2008 or 2009, I can't quite remember off the top of my head, and then they reunited in 2012 or 2013, somewhere around that time. And after their reunion, their past albums have sounded a lot more, I guess you could say, poppy, I guess? If you take their original albums, so which was, if I can remember, Take This to Your Grave, Under the Cork Tree, Infinity on High, and Folie à Deux. I don't know why I said it with a French accent, but I did. So if you take those albums and you take their newer albums, which was, I think, Save Rock and Roll, American Beauty, I think, and then their new album Mania that came out last year, I think. If you take their old albums and compare them to these 3 albums, they are obviously dramatically different in terms of songwriting, instrumentation, and just as an audio engineering from that aspect, it just sounds like it's been mixed in a different way, and it just doesn't seem to line up with what the original sound was. So Lex thinks that if My Chemical Romance did get back together, they would have ended up what Fall Out Boy was doing, and they just make, poppier sounding music, which I can understand because Gerard Way, he actually released 2 solo albums so far. His first one was Hesitant Alien, which is, I believe, came out in 2014, and it just sucked. I mean, I probably tried to listen to like the first track, and I honestly couldn't. It was that bad. And then his newest solo album, which I think is Haunted House, or Baby Your Haunted House. I know there's a song on it called Baby Your Haunted House, and I tried to listen to that, but it kind of sounded like it was like pop drums over a heavily distorted guitar and bass. I mean, to some it would sound good. To me, it was... I'm actually not really sure how I feel about it. I don't really feel positively or negatively towards that, but in the songwriting business, especially when you're in a band that has 4 or 5 other people, it's more likely than not that there's not going to be just one person writing that band's songs. It's probably either going to be the whole band writing the songs or 2 or 3 of them writing the songs, so it's not necessarily just one person writing songs for, the whole band. There are some bands that do that, but for the most part, a lot of bands will collaborate with one another to write a song, which I think is the proper way to do it, because as a band, you're not necessarily just representing one person, or in a lot of cases, the singer. You're kind of representing everybody, so you're also representing your bass player, you're representing your guitar player, your drummer, or whatever other fifth instruments that you choose to have in your band. But that's just my take on it. I mean, there's a lot of successful bands that have one songwriter for their entire group, and they have succeeded. I can't really name them right off the top of my head now, but there's a formula for those bands, and it seems to work. But for me personally, I feel like writing songs should be a team effort, especially when you're in a band. Second thought I have is, how famous is too famous? So, obviously there's different levels of fame. I always describe fame as being well recognized in a certain community. I'm not really sure what the, textbook Oxford Dictionary definition of fame is, but I would assume it's somewhere close to that. What I would want to know is, why do people want to be, famous? Well, the obvious answer would be because, they want to be recognized. They want people to, see them and think, oh wow, this person is really amazing. I want to get their autograph or get their picture. But I don't really think a lot of people take into consideration that if you're too famous, then you have to adopt a completely different lifestyle. So, for instance, if you're as famous as, say, Katy Perry, for example, huge pop star, millions of followers on all sorts of her social media, but the thing is, her publicist and her manager probably have to dictate what she says and what she does a lot of the time, because if she says one thing wrong, then there might be, some paparazzi people that might, record her conversation or might take an unflattering picture of her, and next thing you know, they sell it to so-and-so magazine, and next thing you know, a lot of people just have a completely different viewpoint on her because they just saw her as like one picture. For example, like if she just woke out of bed in the morning and she maybe just got back from the studio last night, she was probably, I don't know, something along the lines of that. She was probably doing some work. She fell asleep in her clothes. She woke up, she went outside, and, maybe a paparazzi or paparazzo. I don't know what the singular version of paparazzi is, but it's, let's say that happens. A paparazzi takes a picture of that, notices that it's her outfit from the day before, and the mindset there is, oh wow, maybe I could sell this to whatever magazine, TMZ or whatever the hell the more popular gossip magazine is nowadays, I don't fucking know. I could sell it to them and say, oh hey, Katy Perry actually isn't really this, all-around cute American girl. She was wearing the same clothes as last night, so she must have been, out drinking and partying and do drugs, when in reality she probably just got back from a studio set that was probably uber long. And as a recording engineer, I know that, a lot of studio sessions can go well over 10 hours. So in reality, she was just tired and just didn't want to take her clothes off, fell asleep in them. She wasn't out partying or out drinking or anything. She was just tired. So I guess that's why I always thought that I would want to be famous enough that I am recognized in a certain community. So perhaps maybe the alternative punk community, I guess. Where I could be, maybe recognized every now and again and say, oh hey, you're Pat Keebler from this band, or you're Pat Keebler from YouTube, I love your videos, and I get a picture or an autograph. I would love to do that. The point is, I would want to achieve a level of fame where I'm recognized in a local community, but I'm not too famous that I have to adopt a completely different lifestyle where I have to watch what I say, watch what I do, watch what I eat, wear, go to, all that stuff. Like, I don't want to adopt a completely different lifestyle just because I want the general public to recognize me. Number 3 is a bit of a deeper kind of question, and it's pretty much, are we alone in the universe? So first up, before I get too much into this, I want to let you guys know I am agnostic, or an agnostic atheist, which means I can't prove or disprove of a god, not necessarily Christian god, but like also Buddhist, Muslim. I grew up in a Lutheran Christian household, but I kind of came out as agnostic when I was about, I think about 16 or 17. But yeah, anyway, going back to the original question, are we alone in the universe? I guess it's really down to what you really believe in when it comes to not just science, but also, I guess, religion does play a bit into this as well. Because I remember reading an article somewhere, I can't remember where, it could be true, it could be not, I don't really know. It made the comparison that if the sun, our sun, was the size of a blood cell, so microscopic, so the size of a blood cell, the entire observable universe would be the size of the continental United States. And for you, guys that are unfamiliar with the size of the continental United States, it's essentially from the state of Maine all the way to California, which is roughly 3,000 miles, give or take. I can't really do that kind of math right now in my head. If a blood cell, it represents our sun. So so the thing is, the sun is, you know, gigantic compared to Earth. So that means if the sun is a blood cell, then, you know, we're hundreds of thousands of times smaller than a blood cell, which is, you know, kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. I guess I always went with the theory of, I'm not really sure I really did go with the theory, because like I said, I'm agnostic, so I don't really know what to really believe, because there are some people that say, you know, oh, aliens exist, the universe is so massive, there's no possible way that we could be alone in the universe. And then there are other articles saying we are one of a kind and nothing like this in the history of the universe has ever happened. Human evolution is a miracle. So I guess what I would really like to think is that perhaps we might not be completely alone in the universe. There might be another alien species of some sort that is just as intelligent as us, if not maybe even smarter. But I feel as though if that were true, we either would have made some kind of contact with them at this point, or there was some event that happened in the past where there was some kind of contact that was made, but was left out of public eye out of fear of the apocalypse, end of days, Armageddon, rapture, whatever you want to call it. So maybe there's something out there, maybe there's not. I guess what we as humans can really do is just keep having the pursuit of knowledge and just really living the lives that we were given, and just try to make the best out of the situation that we're given. Number 4 is complete tangent, but my sister and her brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law, which is now going to be her husband, they just adopted a new puppy. It's a little puppy Newfoundland. His name is Bruce, and he's kind of small right now, but he's supposed to be like 5.5 feet long and like weigh like 180 pounds, which is ridiculous. But the thing is, right now, he's not really house trained, and I'm kind of apprehensive about if he ever will be. Right now, whenever he poops in the house, it's never solid. Like, and I'm not even talking about, like, it's like, this is gonna be really kind of disgusting here in a second, but it literally looks like his anus is just like a soft serve ice cream machine, and then that's what comes out on the floor. Like, it's like 90% water and then like 10% actual dog shit. So my question is, why are his shits never solid? Like, seriously, I've never seen him take a solid shit in his 10 or so week lifespan. I can't remember how old he is. I feel as though he should see a vet about that because, I mean, I know if humans have, you know, watery shits, that's diarrhea, and we might have to change something about our diets, or we might have Crohn's disease or something like that, but either way, if it persists, we see a doctor. That dog needs to see a doctor, because I've never seen him take, you know, a solid, normal, healthy-looking shit in my life. It's like a soft poop pile. That's all it is. It's just a solid... it's not even a solid. It's like, I'm afraid to touch it because I feel like it would just like evaporate into, you know, like shit vapor or something. I don't know. It's like, seriously, Kaylee, take him to a fucking vet. It looks like fucking, like, froyo on the floor. And I obviously don't want to eat it because, you know, I know it's poop, but seriously. So the last one here, some of you other gentlemen like me might be able to relate to this, but I cannot grow a beard for the life of me. So the only thing I can seem to grow here is some mutton chops right here, and then like a little like goatee thing right here, and then I have like a ghost mustache. It's like a real mustache like died on my face, and now it's like haunting the Scooby-Doo gang or some shit like that. I only have to shave twice a week. I'm 6'3", and people think I'm like 40 when they hear me on the phone, but yet they see my face and they think I'm like 15. It's like puberty hit me in like certain spots that were good, but it missed like a critical spot. I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's just fucking annoying as shit to me. And, you know, my family, especially my dad's side of the family, they were like, oh yeah, the men can't grow beards until they're in their 30s. So you're essentially saying that I'm gonna look like I'm 12 until I'm 30? That's horseshit, Dad. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this video. If you have any suggestions on what you might want to see in the future, make sure you comment them down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe. And once again, I'm Pat Keebler, and you have a good day.